Yo, Scrolling Sword, welcome back. We just read Numbers 22 through 24, and it was amazing. Balak, the king of Moab, tries to hire Balaam to curse Israel. And on the journey, the angel of the Lord blocks Balaam's path, but Balaam, he cannot see them. And our focus today is the moment when Balaam's donkey sees what the prophet does not. The tension in this story is not that Balaam went, since God had already permitted the journey. The deeper issue is Balaam's heart, because outward obedience was hiding inward compromise. And I know you know that this is a real thing. When you are not outwardly obeying God, you are likely hiding something that's deep on the inside. And he was moving in the right direction physically, spiritually. He was leaning towards profit, like, let me get paid for this thing, in opposition to God's purpose. And God's anger shows that he does not only judge actions, he also searches the motive. And, a lot of people say, God knows my heart. And let me just tell you, that should be a scary thing to you, because I love your tattoo that says only God can judge me, because that's the absolute honest truth. Only God can see the intents of your heart. And the Bible is pretty clear that the heart of man is deceitful. And the great irony is that in this story, the prophet, he cannot see the angel of the Lord, but the donkey, he can see him clearly. And, it's interesting that scholars note that, if a donkey started talking, we'd be flipping out. Why is Balaam not freaking out? Because he was pagan. He grew up in a pagan culture, and they worshiped animals as deities. So that's why they would not freak him out. But 3 times this donkey turns aside and actually saves Balaam's life, while Balaam beats the very creature protecting him. And Balaam says that he wants a sword to strike the donkey, but the only drawn sword belongs to the angel and is aimed not at the donkey, but right at Balaam. And this story really exposes a very hard truth, that a person can be close to spiritual things and still be blind to God. And Balaam's story teaches that the external obedience is not the same thing as a surrendered heart. External obedience is not the same thing as a surrendered heart. We as humans, we want to focus so much on the external. And let me be clear, the external obedience to God is important, but it is not the end all be all. What actually is going on the inside is what truly matters, because if you are right on the inside, your external will appear the same way. But just because your external looks good does not mean you are not wicked and messed up and fallen on the inside. God is not only concerned with where we are going, but why we are going there. Spiritual blindness can live inside a person who speaks religious words, but loves gain more than they love God. And true obedience means not only doing what God says, but wanting what God wants. Love y'all. See you in the discussion room.